Someone told me when I was a young trial attorney, when you're preparing for trial, you're living the file. It seems to me what you're saying is when you're researching for writing the type of books that you've written, you're really living the story.
More so than you can possibly imagine.
Right, exactly.
I lived Darrow's nightmare for years. And I was on the bench when I started doing my research, and I would get up very early in the morning. And in the initial research, after I understood the whole construct, so to speak, of the 12-week trial, and then I had to read the 8,000-page trial transcript. And so I'm a pretty disciplined person. So I would get up every morning from around 4:30. I would shower the night before. From around 4:30 to 6:30, I would read and take notes. Then I'd get changed and go to the courthouse.
Right. What made you choose this topic? How did you get turned on to this? Because this is, just for our listeners, obviously Clarence Darrow, attorney for the damned, as he was known, was one of the best known criminal defense attorneys in history. But you focus on a 2-year period in his life, 1911 to 1913, which is a story that many may not have heard or has never been told before, right? But what made you pick this topic?
I always wanted to be a lawyer from the youngest of ages. And my mother introduced me to the first, so to speak, authorized biography, which is Irving Stone's book. I read that like when I was 12 or 13. So I knew from having read that book that Darrow had been charged with a crime himself earlier in his career. He wasn't a young lawyer, but it was like midway in his career, he gets charged with this very serious crime of attempting to bribe a juror. And I knew that. And so over the years, I'm sitting in my writing studio and I'm looking around at my library, and I probably read about 15 books on Clarence Darrow. And only one of them really drilled down on the trial for attempting to bribe a juror. And that book was infuriating because the author told you at the very beginning that he thought Darrow was guilty. And he proceeded to tell you about the trial by citing 2 newspaper articles. Well, I knew right then, that this is crazy. There were 12 newspapers in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. Everybody had their own angle on this thing. And so, very long story told short, I had the good fortune of linking up with a librarian who was also a law school graduate at the University of Minnesota. And he was able to get the trial transcript, and it's now online at their website. I downloaded it. It has 90 volumes. Took a long time just to download it.
How long was the trial?
12 weeks.
Okay.
And so once I knew I had the transcript, then I said to myself, I'm going to know what happened at this trial. I had enough trials of my own. I presided over enough trials. I can read a transcript and I can tell you what happened. And so that's what I did. I read the transcript. And as you've read the book, you know that I did my best to, bring the reader into the trial and understand, the living hell Darrow and his wife Ruby were going through, for a very long period of time where they were pinned down in Los Angeles.